So, I was watching Tim Pool. Today he had AlexStein. He was the guy that went to AOC and said, "You got a big booty, a Latino booty." And then she was like, "Hello, like, I want to do a selfie with you." She put out her two fingers. She wanted to do a peace sign. Then later on she said she wanted to deck him. And then she was talking about that day in January and the police. I'm a little bit hesitant because YouTube will ban me. YouTube bans a lot of people for talking about a lot of things. So I'm not gonna say it. I didn't say anything about January from 2021. But AOC did. And it was very surprising. So they were talking about that. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I got out of the TimCast today. The biggest thing that I got, besides a pretty good debate, a pretty good conversation about the moon, space travel. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that people don't know. Like we may not know, unless if you know. But like, did people land on the moon? Another question would be, did any of the videos that they showed us of the moon, was any of that faked? That would be another question. That would be a separate question. That's not asked a lot. I mean, like, it's possible. Let's say it's possible. Maybe some people went to the moon, or some people went in space and they went pretty far in space. That may or may not be true. You may not know exactly when, because they could say we went to the moon in this year on this date, and it's possible that they didn't do it that time. Maybe they did it another time. Maybe other people did it. Maybe the people that said they did it didn't do it. Maybe other people did. Maybe they recorded it, but when they came back down to Earth, the film burnt up, and so then they had to film it in a studio. That's possible. I don't know. There's a lot of questions, a lot of other questions too. And I thought it was a good 2 hours of a show, of a podcast, the TimCast show on YouTube. I like it. One of the biggest things that I got, probably the biggest thing that I got out of it, was Alex. He was talking. So he was talking about how he gets the ability, the guts, the I don't know how to say this, but it's like, how does he do it? To do what he does, to try to confront people, to talk to people, whether it's AOC or anybody else. How is he able to do the things that he does? And he says it's because he compares everything in his life, the things that he's trying to do now, to the time that his mother died. And it was very difficult. And that kind of struck me. It struck me pretty hard. I feel like if you've been in a tough situation, you can use that as an understanding. And I think I've been there. I think you've probably been there. And we're all individuals. We've all been in these situations at different levels, hard times and stuff, all kinds of situations. And so with that, you're able to use it as a reference point. And it's like what AlexStein said. It's like you compare that to anything that you're doing, and you're like, well, compared to this, this new thing is not that bad. That's what he was saying. He was like, me talking to AOC is not that bad compared to my mom dying. Watch my mom die. You know, being there in the hospital as my mom's dying. And that's hard. It's hard when somebody dies. If you know somebody who died, if you're in that situation, or it's something else. There's all kinds of situations, life situations, and relationships, and stuff. And you can take it and you can use it to help you sympathize and empathize and socialize and realize and relate, and you can really like take a step back, and you can try to contrast, you can try to compare, and you can really try to get a handle of yourself. You can try to look at it from the outside, and then you're able to better handle the situations that you are in, whether you're deep inside a situation or not. You know, it's like, it's difficult, but if you're able to look at the situation from the outside, you can better guide yourself. And you really do gotta, you have to guide yourself. That's what actors do, and you kind of have to be an actor in your own life. William Shakespeare said that all the world, the entire world, is a stage. Woohoo! And it's true. It's like, you do have to take a step back, and a lot of times the problem is you're too close. People are too close to a situation in life, whatever the situation might be, and most of the time it's too many situations. That's right, too many situations at the same time, simultaneously, seriously. And because of that, you become emotional, you become everything, all kinds of stuff. But it's mostly emotional, and in the midst of that, it's like you let your emotions guide you. Your body can guide you, your brain can sort of guide you, but ultimately, you want your spirit, your soul, your heart to guide you. I mean, that's the ultimate thing you can do, but it's hard to get to that position, to remember. You really have to remind yourself, and you got to be around good people who can remind you. You got to stay on the path, but you're not always gonna, but it's like having a reference, having an understanding of where you are, it's critical. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be a stick in the mud, and it happens to everybody all the time, and more often than you know. So you gotta be an AlexStein99. You gotta do that stuff sometimes. Otherwise, you're gonna fall down. That's right. So I take heart some of that or all of it, and I think it's really interesting, the conversations that people have, whether it's Tim Pool, Alex Stein, the geeks and the gamers, Roger Stone, Joe Rogan, all kinds of people. I try to be not political, but I am, but I'm not, but I am, but I'm not. It's a long story. There's a lot of things that I wonder and I don't know about, and I'm curious, and I ask a lot of questions, but I don't want people to put me in a box, culturally, politically, or whatever the case might be, all kinds of stuff. But sometimes I put people in a box too. It's like, don't put me in a box, but I'm gonna put you in a box. How dare you? Oh, hypocrite much? Oh yeah. Maybe I am, maybe I ain't, maybe I try to be, maybe I try not to be. Oh my god. It's very tricky, and I go back and forth, and maybe I do, and maybe I don't, but as I get older, I get a little bit older and wiser. But it's like, the going gets tough, the tough gets going, and, you know, it's hard. Oh man, oh buddy. It gets really hard. So it's good to become like a ghost, like the ghost dad, Bill Cosby and the ghost dad from 1990. I think it came out in 1990, and I think I saw it when I was 5 years old. In 1990, oh my god, that was a long time ago. 32 years ago, I remember. He came out, I think he died, so it reminds me of What Dreams May Come. Was that the title of the movie? Something like that. Starring Robin Williams. He died. So there's a lot of movies where people die and stuff. And it's interesting because they have an out-of-body experience. In life, you gotta have an out-of-body experience. The JoeRogan experience. You gotta not just get high and smoke a bunch of mushrooms. I do not endorse that. I think YouTube will ban you for talking about that. Or something. I got some videos deleted because of that. But seriously. But I am serious about that too. But it's like, man, you gotta have an out-of-body experience. What? You gotta have an out-of-body experience like the X-Files? The truth is out there. The truth is out there. The truth is out there. Yes. You gotta have an out-of-body experience. You do have to have an out-of-body experience. Like, because if you don't, you will be way too close. You will be way too close to the situation. It's that simple. So you gotta do that. You gotta do that. Take a step back. If you don't, you're gonna fall over. You're gonna fall over because you're too close.